What is up, everybody? To Reverse Steve here today, and we're gonna talk about PSVR2 and how the lack of support is making this one studio who makes PSVR2 games shut down, apparently. So, another day, Sony fanboys brag about the 50 million PS5 sold. Another day, a huge, massive L is happening behind the scenes. People are losing jobs, so apparently that 50 million consoles sold isn't enough, and it is still being proven to be an archaic measurement of success for these companies, but Sony fanboys are still gloat about it. But behind the scenes, the PR, the dev said there's not enough, not enough support for this type of game, this big AAA game on PlayStation. So, I tried to tell people about the writing on the wall with PSVR 2. That's a very niche market. Not many people care about it, but it just falls on deaf ears, I guess. So, this is from PushSquare.com. They cover the story right here. The big headline is devs behind PSVR2 Firewall Ultra blames the lack of virtual reality support for closure. They're about to close very soon after being in operation for 8 years. First Contact Entertainment is the studio behind PSVR's 2 acclaimed Firewall Zero Hour, and PSVR 2 Seto's sequel Firewall Ultra will close down at the end of the year. Oh man, don't you just love when you hear that those 50 million consoles owners just didn't support this right here? Why didn't they support it? You got 50 million consoles out there. Why didn't the Sony fan base who says they support the developer support this developer? Sad story to see right here. As a AAA virtual reality game developer, we are just not able to justify the expense needed going forward, a statement has stated. That's said right here. Firewall Zero Hour was supported for many years as a live service, and in an interview earlier this year, the developer had expressed a similar ambition for Firewall Ultra. The live service model was a pivot that happened after launch. Communications manager David Jagnilks, I don't know how you say the last name, told us prior to launch, but the pivot we have with Firewall Ultra is that it's being designed from the very beginning to be a live service game. Pretty much, it's saying we gotta shut down. Thank you for the run, pretty much, but they gotta shut down. Not enough support. PlayStation gamers didn't support it, so that's the gist of what's going on here. Sad to see, but not unsuspected at this point. This person states, well, that escalated. Still to try this one as I was put off by the review. First of many, VR is too expensive for the mass market to be successful. Simple as that. I say the same thing. It's niche. It costs as much as a console. Who wants it? But that 50 million sold is the cure all for all wounds. It's literally like the veil for all complaints or nitpicks about Sony. You just say, hey, they're selling so many consoles. They're making PSVR 2, which nobody cares about. They're making a Portal, which nobody cares about. But they're selling 50 million consoles. That's all that matters, apparently. I'll buy it as soon as Sony announces at least one new game being developed by one of their 20 plus studios. That's when they are taking this seriously. People are saying that, they ain't really taking this PSVR 2 thing seriously. They just invest in it for like a headline. But, this might be dropped after a little while because it's like they don't care. The fan base definitely ain't buying it, so why should they invest more into it? I guess that's their thinking right here. Wow, that's a real shame. Firewall Ultra wasn't my sort of game, but I read that the latest patches have improved it considerably. Worrying times for all devs, it seems. Yeah, devs that put their faith into Sony's questionable VR decision. Yeah, questionable for those devs. Worrying for those devs. PSVR owners tend to be older hardcore due to the investment required and the lack of trending games. Trying to run a live service game at a AAA quality is a fundamental mistake. Okay, sure, but other companies can do the same thing. It's just that you can't rely on Sony customers to make you go afloat is the real key point here we want to focus on. Even though they hyped that PSVR 2 device up, they just didn't support it. bought Firewall 2 on launch, played it twice and never again, was just a pain to play when you can manage to find games. I have yet to finish a VR game, and I have bought plenty. Bro, what? So is this the Sony fan base right here? They're buying these PSVR games but not supporting it? They're not even playing the games. Oh, man. You know, that VR... This just totally makes the PSVR2 sound like a huge success, right? People buy games, just not playing them. You know, I had a theory that most people are going to buy the PSVR2, play it for a month, and be done with it. You know, that theory isn't being disproven with the comments I'm seeing so far. I think people just bought it to be hype beasts, and they're not going to play. Because I think the average console owner just wants to play the traditional way of playing consoles, not with a niche accessory like VR. And I think that's the case here. No matter how hard they try to make this a thing, it's not gonna work. People just want to play with a controller and a TV screen. That's it. With the console. They don't want any gimmicky stuff on their head or waggling around. But you know, that's kind of the features that people praise the DualSense for, that you can blow into the controller and waggle it around. Even though nobody cares about those features. But you know, I guess I didn't think it was going to translate for the PSVR 2 as well. With the same like useless features. No, it gets tiring sometimes ragging on Sony, but they just make boneheaded decisions. And this studio closing down is another example of it. I won't buy a PSVR 2 when it costs more than a PS5. It's still a very niche product. Sony should eat some of the cost to make sure it gets successful enough. You would think so, right? You would think that you put this new headset out there, you at least support the studio, you know, through the rough patches. But nope, this studio is about to close down, as they have put one of the big AAA games on that VR headset right there. You get no support, close down. PSVR 2 was dead on arrival. I heard Sony fanboys say otherwise, but it's pretty obvious at this point. But the sales, man, look, that 50 million console sales, the fruits of that those consoles purchases are paying off apparently. VR is a gimmick. PSVR 2 is dead. Devs behind the PSVR 2 Firewall Ultra blame the PlayStation fanboys who use PSVR capability to console war, but not buy the game. That is some sad stuff. They use that PSVR 2 for console war, but don't actually buy the games. PlayStation fanboys are shameless. Sony PlayStation is the definition of lipstick on a pig. I think that's a good comment to conclude it off right there. But yeah, sad to see this developer put their faith into PlayStation's VR device, and it didn't pay off. It's like, I would say it's shocking, but I'm not really shocked by this, to be, in all honesty. Like, it's sad to hear, but I'm not really shocked by this. So, there you go. Definitely share your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and peace.